family,
world unity.
All these things and more will be discussed on this podcast.
Real stories, real people, real debates. On this podcast, we like to express our freedoms and talk about anything and everything goes.
Like freedom, family is important to us, and anybody that is listening, watching, or coming on the show as a guest star are all considered part of the greatest family to ever bless the solar system, the human race. No matter who you are, where you come from, you will always have a voice here on this podcast.
We like to flex our First Amendment, where all speeches and opinions are accepted for the right of freedom of speech. We have a saying we like to live by. Live life with eyes wide open. Being open-minded leads to true understanding of the world as it really is. Please, come, join us, and enjoy this experience as we embark on this journey of truth as we dismantle the subjective truth. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm your co-host, Victoria.
And you're experiencing High Consciousness.
Disclaimer. Any and all information on topics presented are to the best of all who is present in each episode's knowledge. The goal of this podcast is to bring people together and set the example we all wish to see in our everyday lives. Whether it's home life, education, politics, history, business, etc., any and all subjects can and will be talked and peacefully debated about on this podcast. On debate episodes, there will be a set rules of debate that hosts and guests alike must follow. We ask that you, the audience, like we ask of our guests, in the comments to please try to keep the language as clean as possible. We are a podcast for entertainment as well as educational purposes. Here we are all equal no matter what race, age, or gender. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
It's spooky season! Hi, welcome to High Consciousness. These guys are high and unconscious.
I'm the host, Nicholas.
Hi, I'm your co-host, Victoria.
I'm the techie, Noah.
Victoria.
I'm Adam.
I'm Ben. Chris. And what is our subject today, our wonderful hosts?
Well, in honor of Halloween, since it's October, we have decided to do what?
We've decided to do horror movies and horror video games. And we're going to talk about which ones are the best ones, which ones are the scariest, and which ones just absolutely traumatize us as children.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street was
Come on,
the
Freddy's
best
my
one.
best friend.
Controversial thing here.
I had nightmares about Freddy coming to get me in the boiler room and every
I know,
time.
this is my top
I had
five.
them dreams.
Everybody gotta go around list their top 5 movies that fucked them up. Alright, my top 5, let's see. No, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jeepers Creepers. Because that shit was gory. Hills Have Eyes. Terrifier. And what was that last one?
That was fun.
You got one more.
Are we talking about as children or like in general?
In general.
In
general. Okay.
Whatever scary.
Oh yeah, no, it. Pennywise.
Pennywise, yeah. Which one though?
Oh, the old one.
Yeah.
The old one. The old
Alright,
one.
4 hour long one.
Stephen Curry.
Mine were personally Poltergeist, Paranormal Activity, I want to say like the third one. The third one kind of fucked me up.
Yeah, that one was
Tell me no.
See, so we could turn this into like what we scared of.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like Nick's scared of like things that he can't see.
That's
I can't hurt.
Which is why he wears glasses.
Oh my God, he's saying it. The hell you saying, man? That's ghosts. You can't see that shit. It might not be a ghost. It might be a demon.
It ain't no demon. Look, that ain't no demon. That's Exorcist then.
Alright. Let the man finish his list.
Exit
Sorry,
one more.
I didn't cut you off like that.
You're fine. You're fine. But third one's the Exorcist. Fourth one's Jeepers Creepers, and the fifth one is actually the original Alien.
The
1970s.
What?
Yeah.
Won Oscars. It brought back the horror genre from the dead. That's opened up the door for Freddy Krueger, right?
I brought back the horror genre.
No, you didn't.
I brought back the horror genre.
Yeah, you might have.
Still.
Yeah.
Benj? What's your top 5?
I don't think I really have a top 5, really, but
How about just like the main things that like fucked you up, like in movies and like.
Terrifier.
Or like, what are you scared of type thing? Cause like, I'm just gonna say what I'm scared of, cause I already said all the things.
I ain't scared of clowns. And you know, if I see a clown coming at me and he wants to kill me, I'm going all in kill mode too. I'm like, we're gonna
Beat him till you start hearing the squeak of his nose.
Yeah, nothing that scared me was the crazies. That also scared me.
Alright.
what?
Since you don't have one, I got my top 5.
I do.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
It was Terrifier. Hills Have Eyes. Wrong Turn and Hill Have Eyes really fucked me up. It really,
They like cousins.
yeah, they
Wrong Turn.
It's like Wrong Turn is somewhat more realistic than Hills Have Eyes. Somewhat more realistic than Hills Have Eyes.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Because some of the things in the Wrong Turn
You
can
didn't hear what
fucking
he
happen.
said. That's why you
Yeah.
You didn't hear what he said.
No.
He's scared of. I said he was scared of country white people. I said wrong turn.
Alright,
You're in enemy territory now.
So that's my 3. Alright, here we go. I got 2 more. So I said Wrong Turn, Hills Have Eyes. What else? What else is there? Damn.
Well, they got Think Hard now.
Freddy Krueger was one. When I was a kid on Elm Street.
I'm sure.
Yeah, the old one.
You hear that goddamn 1, 2.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Like,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, Nike kicks.
I can't afford these things. No.
I think that was my last one. So,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
to be honest, that was my last one.
What about you, Adam?
What are you afraid of?
These nuts? What?
They're pretty scary.
That's pretty
Too
scary.
many veins.
Too much hair, too.
Leprechaun.
Yes.
What?
That's a good one.
What?
Yeah, that's a real good one.
That's a good one.
And I know it's not really like a horror.
Be
thing,
careful how you represent the Irish people.
but like, Spirited Away kind of scared me too. Like the black goo thing.
Oh, yeah, I can understand how that's scary.
Yeah, it was like greedy, gluttony. Like it was.
Oh, yeah, I
it was
remember
like
when
an
you told me,
embodiment of all the 7 sins or whatever. You know, that shit was. As a kid, that scared the fuck out of me. And Freddy Krueger was scary, just because. Pulled Buddy through the bed.
Johnny
I
Depp.
didn't want to go to bed for a while.
Dude, you ain't kid. You ain't kid.
I felt my body afloat.
You ain't lying.
So why am I singing?
From the spine down.
This bed must be really comfy. Oh wait, what the fuck?
I got that memory foam.
Sponsored by Tempur-Pedic.
That waterbed was a little low on pressure. That's what it was. It was a waterbed.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a waterbed.
Oh man, I must have blocked that out.
Yeah, that's what made it like all that much more like.
Yeah, it was a waterbed, and then it was her. I thought it was like was it Buddy? But then like Buddy gets sucked into the video game, and like Freddy Krueger, you know what I'm talking about? That shit was scary. Bro.
No, I don't remember that part.
That was the first one, wasn't it?
You know, like, when they shot that scene, like when Johnny got pulled in the bed and all that blood shot up. You know, they flipped the goddamn room upside down. But everybody almost died really because goddamn the
All that
blood
shit
hit
wasn't.
the blood hit the goddamn the electricity and goddamn it started electrifying everything. So everybody was just hanging there for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. Like they literally said that was literally like the most goddamn. They have like people almost really died that day. It was like that.
During the making of the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real thing. We could look it up. It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look it up.
Things you do for friendship. Making me get out of my table. Alright, what was the thing? Freddy Krueger.
Let me know, was it?
Dude, these are some slippers.
Whoa! That was a thing that happened.
We're having a little technical
Little
difficulties.
Yeah, so that was weird.
You said something about some grandma.
So, yeah, we're just not gonna look up the thing.
Yeah.
We're just not gonna try and look it up. Sorry. Guys.
Not anymore. Sorry.
And now, your greatest fears.
Your greatest
Okay,
fear.
so honestly, like, the Gremlins scared me as a kid.
Gremlin.
Like,
Wow.
Those
I'm sorry, when they go
furballs.
evil after
My little kid's
midnight,
mine.
after midnight, like, they are some scary looking little dudes.
Oh wow.
She's scared.
I mean, I was like 5, okay, when I saw it for the first time. My grandparents were just like, here's a Christmas movie, have fun.
That was
And
a
I
Christmas
did-
movie?
Yes,
Yes,
it's a
Christmas
Christmas.
movie. It comes on every Christmas. You didn't know that?
Motherfuckers like check the
It's
theaters
because
and
the
said,
whole movie is based on Christmas.
Abraham Lincoln.
No, a lot of things in that era look weird to me.
Yeah.
I forgot
then-
a lot of things in my childhood.
And speaking of childhood, Child's Play. Child's Play. Like,
Chucky.
Chucky made me scared of dolls, bro. Like,
I always thought I could easily beat up Chucky because he was just
Right? There's a
Come
little,
on.
I could fucking just kick you like into oblivion, you little tiny doll man.
Because like, you should see what I did to my sister's doll. You think I had a problem with this one?
Halloween.
Chucky did scare
Halloween,
me,
Michael
though.
Myers.
Chucky
Like,
was scary, bro.
No, puppets.
Chucky was scary as hell, man.
No, you seen the boy? Like,
Oh,
the puppet?
Goosebumps the puppet. What's the put that
Night
puppet?
Night of the
Dude,
Living Dummy.
Goosebumps
Night of the
the
Living
puppet.
Dummy. That's what it's called. That's what that
The
book's
dummy.
called. Night of
They
the Living
made a
Dummy.
whole Goosebumps movie out of that one, The Dummy. Like,
Dun, dun, dun,
whoa,
dun, dun.
that one
Remember
scared me, but my brother Bobby loved
Kids
it.
these days will never understand the impact that Goosebumps have and how it was supposed to be scary but never really landed.
And
Right.
don't
Dude, there's
And don't
joke
judge
about
me.
Tales of the
movies
Crypt
and shit
was
like
somewhat
that.
scary.
Really scary movies.
Somewhat.
and don't judge me, bro. Don't judge me. Jaws.
You scared of a shark?
Who wouldn't
Yes.
I'm not gonna
I
get
was
the
like
I mean, I
scared,
I'm
was
not
like.
gonna get the water.
water.
I ain't going
Man,
first.
I was so
ain't doing none of
scared.
that.
Like, I
I'm
just
black.
don't, I don't
See,
know.
I'm
Like,
lying.
sharks just scare
You
me.
put
I
two
mean,
and
they're
two
bigger than me. I'm in the water. I'm a little human. I'm not stronger than them. That's their territory. When
Just
I'm there,
punch them in the
I'm
nose.
lunch.
Yeah.
How did nobody say this?
For what?
Eight-legged freaks.
Oh yeah. The
I love the
Eight-legged
eight-legged freaks.
No. That's why I'm gonna write it.
Seriously, I'm not gonna bring it up.
Oh, yeah, you go bring spiders up.
So look.
That's
I
the
used
only
to
reason
watch.
I'm scared of spiders.
I used to watch old movies. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they got one called Arachnophobia.
Yep.
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 Ice spiders.
That one. We had eight-legged freaks, bro.
And then you know the lava phobia. I mean the lava spiders. Yeah.
Lava spiders?
Yeah.
Did you know there's such thing as lava snails? They actually exist in our real
And they
world.
had to like drop the ladders on the motherfuckers to run across. You know what I'm saying? And they were trying to jump out the whole time. It was terrifying.
They made a
You know
little
what
get
I'm
down
talking
to
about. Bro, the scariest spider
The
in
trapdoor
county.
spiders?
Yeah.
The thing
It's called, no, it's
Fascinating
called ice spiders,
Bro,
right?
the-
They were
But I was never scared of them.
Bro, when
I
the
just find
water
them
is hot
fascinating.
ground and the ski, like the skiers are going
Yeah.
fast and they hop
Trapdoor
out.
spider.
Yep.
Grab
Take
them.
'em.
Terrifying. I was like, yo, that's the worst. I was
Just
at
the orb
death. Like, I don't ever want.
Yeah, we have orb weavers. There's one right outside.
No. No, not the orb. I'm talking about like the Australian.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
like no.
You get bit by that, you're probably.
Nah, python. Snakes on a plane. So.
I'm
Snakes
tired.
are-
I motherfucking
Yeah.
snakes on this motherfucking plane!
Motherfucker.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson is a national treasure and must defend him at all costs.
Yes, protect him at all costs.
I know everybody else got it before you said it.
Although we're pretty sure he can damn well protect himself.
He's the reason why I'm not there. My favorite curse word
Motherfucker.
is motherfucking.
Oh shit.
Oh, man.
Anaconda.
I have a controversial thing to
Huh?
say about like my fears.
What is it?
I have never once been scared by a horror movie. Never.
Shit, you ain't seen the right one.
Are you like?
I've seen lots of horror movies.
So there hasn't been
Yeah,
not
hey,
one horror movie
Insidious.
that scared
No.
you?
Not
Not even-
Elm Street, not any new, not old.
Not Paranormal
That was one
Activity.
scary
Paranormal
movie,
Activity.
but-
I've
was
never
scary.
been scared
Let
of
me add that
ghosts.
one
You
too.
saw, I once like, I caught a
Cloverfield.
demon, what she calls a demon,
Yeah, you
like
caught a demon
scream
on camera, bro.
and I was
You
ready
did.
to square up that demon.
I
I felt nothing but just, alright, you want to try me, come on.
like
Come.
just remembering
Come on.
that thing sounded like
Just
gives
tell
me
you.
chills.
Yeah. But it's still big.
I recorded a
That
whole
sounds
ass demon
insane.
just screaming and yodeling like some demonic chant, and I was like, come here, motherfucker.
Let's go. Like, not me.
Come on, take me to your leader. I'll kill him too.
You are braver than me.
But there was one scene that really did fuck me up as a little kid. That wasn't even a horror movie. Y'all ever seen the original King Kong movie?
Yes.
Yes.
From like not the original, but the one from 2004.
Yes.
Skull
No.
Island?
No,
No,
from
2004. I seen it. Peter Jackson movie.
There was this one scene that just scared me. I don't know why. Just like maybe like hiding my blankets was when they were like fighting these giant bugs.
Oh, centipedes.
No.
Yeah.
And there was this worm that tried to like eat. I think it was Jack Black. That scene fucked me up. I don't know why. It was just like it just like made me like no. And like the only thing I'm really scared of is like tubular worms and parasites.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What a word, tubular.
Like large tubular like with rows of teeth.
What a word.
Rows on rows on rows
like,
of teeth.
Yeah.
Like the Mongolian death worm.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would scare me, but at the same time I'm fascinated by it.
I know, right?
It's like I'm not scared of spiders. I'm fascinated by them. I'm not scared of demons.
You
I'm
would've
fascinated by them.
Okay, I'm scared of spiders, straight up.
But the
You know,
main
I'm
thing,
not
if we're
scared
talking
of
about
spiders.
horror movies, I saw this as an adult. It didn't scare me, but it like left an impact on me that just like made my soul hurt. It's a French-Canadian like film called Martyrs.
Nope, I ain't seen it.
You ever heard of Martyrs?
Martyrs,
It's basically
yes,
about
right.
these two girls that are trying to get
Yeah.
vengeance on their kidnappers. That they would like torture them
Basically,
and like beat the shit out of them over years, and like they escaped, and this one girl was like still haunted by the trauma. And they went back and shot the guys, but and they went down to that basement, and the girl ended up getting kidnapped again. And it's just brutal. It is just
She dumb as
it
everything.
is
So,
it is bad, and then like the whole thing is like an experiment on the human psyche. The whole thing is like an experiment on the human psyche when they're about to reach the point of death. What do they see?
Just don't.
And like the skin, there's a scene where they basically filleted her, like skinned her, after like beating the shit out of her for months on end. That shit was like literally disturbing. It's like it doesn't scare me, but it's disturbing to like. Jesus.
Nah, personally,
No.
the person
you
got
ever
more
heard of I
disturbing
Spit on Your
part.
Grave?
Yes.
Yes, I've watched those
That-
movies. I've watched 1, 2, and 3.
That shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah.
beating art and
But if we're
disturbing.
talking horror movies, no horror games on
Oh, bro,
Finding
Disney-
Isaac
Disney-
still
Alien
Disney-
Isolation.
That Disney movie that's a
Alien Isolation.
That's a
Is
horror
Yeah,
my
one.
favorite horror game.
Haunted Mansion.
Nah, it's the only Disney movie that's ever been a horror movie. Damn, it's like it's a video game.
Oh, game over?
Yeah, game over. That shit's fuck. It's a pretty good goddamn horror movie.
Why do I feel like I've heard that before?
They got
Synopsis?
I'm
Lost
sorry
it.
for the really dark turn, by the way. It's like we're talking about
Hey,
fun,
we're
I
talking
said
about
something
horror
about it.
films.
and I'm
That's
talking
a
about
horror
shit
film.
that just
I
like
said something about
could
it.
actually have fucking happened. I'm
I mean,
scared
that's
of
not-
real shit. I'm scared of like you can believe what you want to believe, but I'm scared of humans.
Hello,
wrong.
Michael Myers is a human. I mean, granted,
Oh
he's like some kind of
please! The amount of times
supernatural,
he's
like,
died
thing.
and came back to life over and over and over and over
Well,
again.
technically, no, he just got like
Who is
and
it?
then he healed and came back to
Yeah,
the brink of
no,
death
that's
and then
all
came
it
back
is.
to get a bitch. I mean, that's just it.
You couldn't survive half the shit that I got without medical attention. Come on, that man is a supernatural being.
Okay, but still,
That man
he
signed a
started
contract
out
with
as
a
just
demon which
normal
does
human
not
being.
exist.
But he started out as a normal human being, and then he went to a psychopath, and like that is a thing that
I feel like
actually happens.
YouTube though
I mean,
has
we have
better horror
documentaries
movies
of
than
that.
actual horror movies. Like, I like things that are both like unsettling. It's like something that I like psychological horror. a
The
lot better
Pope's
than most.
Exorcist.
But everything else is like
You know,
Anybody
Black
seen
Phone.
that one?
It's
Black Phone's pretty good.
it's like fun.
Hey Adam, Black Phone. Black Phone's pretty good.
The Black Phone, yeah, that was
Black
a good
Phone's
one.
not
I literally
scary,
walked through like a really good haunted
It
mansion
was-
type
yeah,
haunted
it's
mansion type
psychological.
deal, and like just was like had a smile on my face the whole time. What was it, the haunted woods?
Haunted Woods.
Yeah, yeah. I'll remember to like those haunted woods attractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you were scared of them.
Well,
The parts where I had to go through that were pitch black, I did.
That
Yeah.
actually did make me somewhat
I
unsettled.
don't like that.
Oh, yeah, that made me
I'm
unsettled
scared of
too.
mist.
Like, I
after
never,
being the scarer in our own
Remember that
horror
good
production
Batman
for
I
so
had,
long
bro?
and for so many years, like, like it.
Yeah.
It took the fun out of it for me. The mazes and the haunted woods and stuff. I still like to go and see them sometimes just to see if they can get me. But I will say, after years of going to them and just being like, oh, ha ha ha, well, we could have done better. You know, me and my crew, we could have done better, like we do every year. And then we go to Orlando for Halloween. And
Orlando's scary enough as is. It's Florida. It's fucking terrifying there.
Okay, so we got
people marrying crocodiles on that and shit. Damn.
We got
We need a third person.
So we got the tickets for Halloween Horror Night, and so we went through a couple of the mazes, and one was like Chupacabra, another one was like witches, and then one of the main ones that we went to was the Michael Jackson one. And
Michael Myers.
Michael
Myers.
Michael Myers.
Where'd you go?
It wasn't Michael Myers one. It was a Halloween one.
I feel a broken.
Oh yeah.
I guess because his face is so.
Got her.
You got me. I was so loud in my ear, bro. But anyway, so we go to the Halloween Michael Myers attraction, right? And we've been waiting in line for hours, and my poor legs are tired, and my knee just decides to pop out of place for a second, and as we're about 10 minutes from entering into this Halloween themed haunted house where Michael Myers is going to be everywhere. And so that's what immediately set the scare factor in for me. It's like, oh crap, I'm the sacrificial lamb. And what made it even worse was the fact that I was already hurting because I had back problems and stuff. We've been there all day walking
And her
for
knees
10
gave
hours
out.
straight.
In the line, because we're in the line for like 2 hours.
My back was hurting, and so they kind of had to wheelchair me through the park some, and to give me a break. And so they were all joking, picking on me as we're waiting 2 hours in line, oh, you the sacrificial lamb, you the weakest one. We all gonna leave you, Tori. And I was like, y'all messed up. Even Nick, who's supposed to be my fiance to back me up here, he's like, nah, I'm gonna leave you, bitch.
Every man for himself.
Every man
That's
for
good.
himself.
It's Michael Myers.
You're dead. And so then I was like, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna be scared. So I'm trying to mental myself up, and then 10 minutes before we enter, my knee decides to threaten to pop out of place, but it hurt. It still did something, and it hurt like a son bitch. And I
That was
was
at the
like,
beginning of the whole haunted house.
yeah, at the beginning of the haunted house, right before we go in. And so I'm limping in and entering into this haunted house, and immediately out my right side, out of my left-hand corner, I see a flash of Michael Myers standing there with a knife, and I was like, oh god, the fear sets in. And so I'm turning left, I'm turning right, I'm looking everywhere, trying to see where he's gonna pop out next. And then we enter into this place, into this hall of mirrors, and there's 15 of them lined up on one side and 15 lined up on the other. So this is double horror factor for me, because a little background on me. Me and mirrors do not get along. I have legit seen demons and some evil spirits and things in mirrors in haunted houses. It was not a good thing. And so, mirrors plus Michael Myers. I am scared shitless right now.
Yeah, so she's walking
Oh, I
in.
don't like mirrors either. They remind me of just how fat I've
side
got.
by side, and as she's walking in, I'm walking behind her, and I'm just like, babe, don't walk out front. And she's like, nah, fuck this, I'm walking out. And it's because she turned around towards me. As soon as he said that, here comes Michael Myers walking.
One of the 15 that's lined up on this side, touches my shoulders, is like, ah! And I was like, ah! And when I back up, I back right up into another one that was real and not fake. And the knife, I felt the knife be, I felt the from the knife going up in my face. I was like, ah! I fell down, I started crying.
Thank you.
I started crying.
Oh,
okay.
you poor little thing.
It was 12:30 at night. We were tired. We were at Universal all day.
No, it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
By the time we finished that one, it was
Almost
12
3
o'clock.
a.m.
Or 2 o'clock. We went in line at 12, and we waited 2 hours. So by the time we got out, it was
And mind you,
2:30.
the park closes at 3.
And the park closed in 30 minutes after that. And so my little butt's
So
getting
you don't got that express pass. You
It's like trying to get out of there.
No, because with the world it was a horror show with the fucking lines. You'll literally walk through the Jimmy Kimmel late night showcast. Then you're like, oh yeah, 30 minutes? Yeah, that's nothing. Then you get to the end of the line, stop.
Dead stop.
Dead stop. And next thing you know, you just see a whole bunch of people. Because as soon as you get out of the building, you just see a whole line. Like going this way, like 20 yards that way, cutting around 60 yards that way. So we're like, it goes around the building. And we're like, all right, once we got out the corner, that's probably where we're going to go type shit. Like inside the building. We probably go inside. No. Dude, we come around this corner. A field of lines.
Whole bunch of motherfuckers.
Of the same ride. I'm still the same ride.
Motherfuckers over here, motherfuckers over there, motherfuckers still over here.
I'm talking
There's
like...
motherfuckers on the ceiling.
Nick started pulling the Cartman. All the lines.
Like,
It's like, I don't
the
know
whole
why,
time
but
we're
even when I went
listening
to
to
the
Weeknd's,
Woods, I think it was in Greensboro. I think it was around.
Yeah.
And I was
This is supposed to be your
the
day,
one
Tony.
cheat method I guess you could say, but this was just me in the moment. Was I just imagined in my
Yo!
brain? I just
Too much.
imagined in my brain, like one of the best things if you ever do get scared of like haunted hotels. You just listen in your head this song, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. That just makes everything funnier. Like Michael Myers just coming at you with like cheerful music and like getting people getting ripped apart. It's like nothing's worrying
Nope.
me.
Damn.
Wow. Wow, how horrendous. Anyway.
I don't, but
Favorite
there was this
horror
one story.
video
It's like
games?
I was holding the girl that I was with at the time's hand because she didn't want to get lost, and we were approaching like this tunnel, this like miner tunnel. It's like this guy dressed up as a butcher, he was big and burly. He was like he was looking up at me, and he just came over, took my hand and from it. It was like, oh, okay, this is happening, and he just led me to the tunnel. I just like go. I'm like, okay.
You were chosen to be the sacrificial lamb for the butcher.
And still nothing scared. I just ended up saying hi. I was the cheerful white dude the whole time. I was just like, nothing can touch me now.
Wow.
But oh yeah, sorry for the whole story time.
Yeah. It's Halloween themed, and that was like one of the Woods of Terrors that you went to.
Oh yeah. You were talking about horror games. Who here has played horror games? How many of you?
Watched a lot of them.
Binding of Isaac is one of those. I mean, I consider
We
that
talked about
one of those
Binding of
horror
Isaac.
kind
It's
of
not a
ones.
horror game.
It's horrifying to me.
It's like a dark fantasy.
Not dying light.
Oh, zombies.
Oh, the evil within us.
Have
That
never
is
been
that's Nightmare Fuel right there. Resident Evil's Nightmare Fuel.
Silent Hill.
Oh,
Silent
wait.
Hill.
That's Nightmare Fuel.
That's fucking
Little.
Dead Space.
Never played.
Now we're getting into some.
all
actual
the
games.
necromorphs.
Dead Space.
Now we're actually starting to talk about.
That
some-
actually did. Horror games have a better chance of scaring me than anything. Really.
I have to say, the scariest horror game I've ever played was like that thing on VR where like you went through the haunted house. And like it was my first game I ever played on VR. Like one of my friends was like, "Here, put this on, tee," and like they were like, "Here, play this game."
some trauma,
And I was like, "Oh, a haunted house game? How bad can this be?" I was not prepared.
No.
I was not prepared. I
No.
almost peed my pants. Like I was that scared. I screamed. I backed up and I broke something behind me. I can't remember what I broke, but I ran into something. It was like a shelf or something, and like everything just fell out on the floor. And I was like,
I'll tell you one thing though is like, I really like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm just gonna say it.
"That's a scary game." That's
And I have all of them on. I have all of them, all the games, including Help Wanted, which is the VR one. And let me tell you, the VR game is a stress machine. It is a stress machine. You don't really think about how creepy these fucking animatronics are until you're like right in front of you, and like they're fucking big. It's like they're just looking at you with soulless eyes.
But you know what I'm not
Amnesia?
doing?
Oh my god, dude! I literally had to like,
What about
I had to
Amnesia?
back away from Amnesia.
"What's
I had to
Amnesia?"
back away.
So Amnesia is one of the very first games to ever have the it's really one of the first things like similar to the Blair Witch Project. How that's the first of its kind of like point of view of the camcorder as the character. You play as the camcorder, and you have to like walk around, find batteries, and there's like demons and shit that are like chasing you.
And no, I think you're thinking about Outlast.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Outlast.
You're thinking of
Outlast.
Outlast. When you said camcorder, it's
Same
like, I don't think they had that
Same
in
difference.
17th century Prussia.
So the Amnesia has two games. There's an old one, and then there's a new one that just came out. And the new one takes place during some like steam powered war. I don't know what the year it is. It's like I don't want to.
The new one actually came out. It was like in the Middle East.
No, it's
I think
it's
it's
a
Rebirth.
It's weird because you gotta like fucking charge up your lantern. You gotta pull this string to charge up your lantern, and then you gotta like go crank the power to turn the generators on, turn the electricity on and shit. And then there's like some type of like Sasquatchian beast that's chasing you or something. I don't know what it is. It's some type of
Sasquatchian.
demon thing. I don't know. I personally didn't play it. I played a little bit of it.
I can't.
If we're talking about horror games, those are some horror games.
The original Outlast, and Machine for Pigs was the sequel, and then now this Amnesia Rebirth recently came out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Amnesia Rebirth, yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, I could not understand.
The story was crazy.
Strange.
It was absolutely terrifying.
It's just being one of those older horror games have that like nostalgia
Mm-hmm.
or like that low poly kind of
Yeah,
graphics that
that's
really
what it
fuck
is.
with you more than the high definition.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something like.
Because
more
back then,
suspenseful
they're
about it.
That's
they
what
were
it was.
limited, but they were effective.
Yes, they were.
It's like with Silent Hill. If we're talking about like the original Silent Hill, like
Mhm.
there's some shit that.
Oh, the original Resident Evil games.
Yeah. No, the Resident Evil though, I feel like it was a mixture of horror and just goofs.
So like yes,
And,
It was goofy.
right? Like
it was a
Resident Evil
funny,
4,
goofy horror
whenever at
movie.
the very beginning of the game, whenever Buddy popped out and you had to kill him with the shotgun, right? That's that.
Mhm.
At the very beginning, bro. That scared
Mhm.
shit out of me, bro.
I can't help but, and whenever we talk about Resident Evil, I can't help but think about three things. Leon riding one of those like little
yeah.
pony things in playgrounds. You can actually do that. And going down playground slides. The dad from Resident Evil Biohazard just being a really angry country bumpkin. And big mommy vampire lady.
Big mommy vampire.
From the most recent one.
Dude.
And it's like, you can't be scared of that. That's. That
No,
is
the
like.
old
you
school
know-
ones were definitely a little scary for sure.
Yeah.
The newer ones now, I don't know what they're trying to do with it.
You know who was also
They're going
scary
back
back
to
in
the
the day?
Biohazard was
You know who's also scary back in the day? Fucking Predator. Yeah, I said it. Predator was the
The
best.
Predator movies.
I don't know if I should.
You ain't seen the Predator movies?
I've seen it. I was never afraid. Maybe I should just back out of this conversation because I have bigger balls than you.
Oh wow, that's bold. He just said y'all got no nuts.
Or maybe I'm just.
Oh,
I don't
what?
have
Well,
that. I don't have very
saying-
strong fear receptors in my brain.
Wow, man, right?
I'm sorry.
Cause ain't no Predator now. Was,
You
it
are
was top
one
tier now,
ugly
now D
motherfucker.
tier now.
What are you?
No one likes Predator.
I like Predator. I just don't think he's scary. I think he's cool.
He falls in one, but he only falls in one of those like science fiction horror movies. Cause you gotta remember AVP and Alien.
Nah.
But Alien's more scary. I get it.
Alien was much scarier.
Yeah, Alien was way scary.
It's like climbing through the vents. Alien Isolation is honestly the best interpretation of that whole ethos, in my opinion. Because I don't know what it's like, but it's like you're hiding from an alien that you cannot fight against. You can only like repel for like a quick second, and that's only when you get the flamethrower. You can only repel, and even then, that's like a 75% chance it'll go away. Because you could shoot it, and then it'll just go like.
Yeah, that can't do nothing.
That's the worst part is when you start hearing the footsteps increase in speed.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're hiding in a fucking in a locker, and you're just seeing that big dildo looking motherfucker.
Walking around, looking.
Big dildo looking thing.
It is. That's what it looks like. His
That
head and all. Like
is
long,
horror
straight
game.
head.
I'll
Abnormally
say
long.
like Alien Isolation will be horror game at its best. It's like that's mwah, chef's kiss. 10 out of 10.
Just kidding.
But also,
There hasn't been any good Alien games, though.
No, not really. Alien Isolation is really the only one because he always try to make him into a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a shooter.
like a sci-fi shooter.
Yeah, like a sci-fi shooter where they're easy to kill and you just gotta fight hordes of them. And Alien was never like that. It's more
Like,
like
they
an isolation,
recently-
like a survival type game.
They recently made like an Aliens game that's like reminds you of like Left 4 Dead. But
Yeah,
in
but
Aliens.
it's like Counter Strike though because it's a strategy, tactical game where you have to. It's turn based and you gotta like not necessarily turn based, but you gotta like pick where you go command your unit where it goes to, and then like decide who uses their grenades and like fire type shit. It's one of those. That's why it's considered like Counter Strike. Because that's what kind of mechanics are used for it.
However, you're also fighting off hordes and also putting out like turrets and shit.
Yeah.
That's what reminds me of Left 4 Dead.
World
Which-
War Z.
World War Z.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you ever read the book?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
World
I
War
have.
Z book.
I have the World War Z book.
Totally different from the movie.
It really is.
Totally different.
Because
And
it's
that was,
all
like,
questions and
disappointing.
answers. It's an interview asking like all these fucking eyewitnesses of the accounts of World War Z, and that's how the book's formatted it. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like it's
Oh, that's
like
actually pretty cool.
because you're like it's takes this perspective of Brad Pitt's character, but he's the one that's interviewing everything and figuring it all the way down. I haven't finished out because I had to return it to the library. But I was like halfway through when I got done with it, and I was like in high school. I need to go back and reread it.
That reminds me, if we're talking about horror movies that are different from the books, Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Jurassic
I
Park
didn't know those
was
were books.
actually
Yeah, they
good
were. They were
fucking
originally
horror
books for
movie.
their movies. Matter of
I
fact.
didn't know that those were a book either.
Yeah.
That started off as a book, and it was like they completely got rid of a lot of different scenes. I feel like it because kids like dinosaurs, but we really do not give credit just how fucking scary dinosaurs
I mean, look at
were.
Yeah, dinosaurs
about
were
it.
terrifying.
There was a fucking scene where the crappies, the little tiny little
Mhm.
little lizard looking
No, don't really
motherfuckers.
even exist in the dinosaur kingdom.
They do.
They do. They
Yeah,
exist
little
today still.
little
Like
crap-
Australians out there playing tag with them.
Crappies were like. There's this scene where they were inside a nursery, and like they opened the doors like dark at night, and then the nurse was like sitting looking at the nursery, and these crappies were surrounding a crib, with like little baby bits coming out of its mouth.
Ew.
They just looked at it. Continue.
Continue
That's
eating
the
the
book
baby.
or the movie?
The book.
The
That's
book.
the book.
Ew.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like they should
Oh,
reboot
my
Jurassic Park just to make it a fucking horror movie because
It's a dinosaur
That's
movie.
crazy, actually.
dinosaurs are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And like we're talking about also horror video game dinosaur like games. Dino Crisis. If you ever played it, it's a PlayStation game that hasn't got a remake yet, but it was actually pretty fucking good. It's kind of like Jurassic Park, but you had guns, rocket launchers, and there were cybernetic dinosaurs too. Like that's for real. 'Cause
Dinosaurs are lasers!
yeah, like it's real life
Dinosaurs
shit.
are
You can
lasers.
look. Yeah,
Sounds
look,
like
you
an
could
80s
look it up,
fantasy.
but that's a real
Real.
game, Dino Crisis. Hmm.
Sounds pretty dope.
Speaking of other horror games, like, has anybody played 7 Days to Die? I've only watched somebody play that, and like just watching was like anxiety and like scary for
I've
me.
never heard of
The
this.
name doesn't need. It's not.
It's a
fitting.
PC. It's a PC
7
game
days.
about like you're in a
Survival.
zombie apocalypse kind of survival world, and
Actually.
there's only you and so many survivors, and like you have to gather all these tools and things. It's kind of like
Oh!
it's
that
zombies
game!
and Minecraft
I
come
have played
together.
that game. I just forgot about it.
That game is nightmare fuel,
It was.
but also there's some
Horror.
pretty impressive builds. Like people built entire like mansions and theaters and amusement parks
reminds me of,
all
like,
underground
a
to get away
low-poly
from the hordes of
Rust.
zombies.
Sounds like low poly horror Rust. Interesting concept, but to me personally, I just
Never
You know they made a Blair Witch game?
Yes.
That was actually surprisingly good. It was a fucking sleeper.
It was a sleeper?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was a sleeper. Everybody just like
Because everyone assumed.
forgot about it.
Yeah. Because.
I mean, the movie wasn't that great.
It was
You're
good.
tripping.
It was good. It was like it's mostly concentrated mostly on the psychological aspect. More than
I mean,
anything, and I love that. You know,
I guess like it just didn't affect me that way.
it's a mixed bag. It's not for everyone.
Now I'll say The Witch. That movie.
The Witch.
the Vich.
The Vivitch.
The Vivitch.
It looks like two V's.
Yeah, it looks
The
like
Vivitch.
the witch where that modern family like moves out of the country and then they end up on this like village of like
Here we go.
People.
Back to the scary white people.
you know
Back to the scary bumpkins.
yeah back to the scary pumpkins.
Or we have like Texas Chainsaw.
Oh God, Texas Chainsaw.
How many
Yes,
of y'all
that
have
movie
seen Texas
gave me
Chainsaw?
nightmares.
That's
Mhm.
that's good.
Quick classic.
It's called Classic, and it's based on a true story. It's a true story.
Well,
Children of the Corn.
not exactly.
Yeah,
Sort of
yeah.
sounds about it.
Anybody
shit
seen
was
that
not
one?
scary.
I'm a child of the corn. I'm from Ohio.
What part of Ohio are you from?
I was born in Columbus, raised in Dayton and Chillicothe.
I have some.
You're not missing much.
No, I have some friends that are from Grove City.
Grove City.
That's apparently near Columbus as well.
I think I have a family member in Grove City. That's where I shot my first gun. Two guns. An
I have some
SKS and
friends
an
in Grove City.
AK-47.
You said you're from Ohio. They're from Ohio. Grove City.
That's the thing about Ohio. It's like you meet somebody who's from Ohio. I was like, oh, I know one. So I'm from Cleveland. And it's like, oh. Not
There's
everyone's
so many people there. Yeah.
It's like, you say you're from Cincinnati, they assume Cleveland is the same place. And it's like, we really only got two cities. One I'd recommend. One is, it's practically the motto that of Cleveland is like, hey, at least we're not Detroit.
At least we're not this.
That's the scariest place in the world.
Yeah.
Either Cleveland or Detroit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Detroit, Michigan. That place. That's where Slim Shady came from.
Yes, that's where some shit came from. And no one came from Cleveland.
Yeah, didn't LeBron James?
No, he came from, no, he
LeBron
came from Cincinnati.
James.
He came from Cincinnati.
He came from Akron. Well, I guess
You don't know
Stop
shit.
Cleveland. He chose us Cleveland. They won a champion. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
All the guys, every man who's ever walked on the moon was from Ohio. And that's like the men who invented Superman, Ohio. Cleveland, in fact. Which is the most surprising fact about Cleveland, and that's really where it ends.
It's the most
Everywhere else is just gun violence and meth.
violence and mess.
So basically the south of the north.
The sound of the north.
Oh man. I completely lost track.
Of horror stuff.
Horror stuff.
That's the scary thing of your mind. That's the scariest thing in the world is your mind.
Cleveland.
You lose track of
Scariest
everything.
place on earth.
What you scared of, Benji?
There's some people that say
Y'all
like
look either
Howard the
stoned out
Duck
of your
was just
minds
so
or
scary.
tired or bored or all three.
That's
Oh, scary. What are you scared of?
Scary.
Scary.
Scared.
Scared.
I'm scared of, Benj.
I'm not
It's really just losing the people that I love most.
Oh, the
I
real
ain't-
scary that
I
we
really
had
ain't
was the
scared.
friends we made along the way.
Some of them
really.
people are
Your
crazy.
fear,
I
man.
could care less about that.
Honestly, that's a really valid answer. It's like the more you become an adult, it's like the main thing I'm scared of.
Horror shit, man.
The real things that I'm really scared
God,
of is just
leak
being alone.
podcast.
It's just being alone.
I mean,
Your high conscious mother. Your high consciousness. Look at this guy.
I don't know
He
what's
high-
scary,
He's
though.
high over here.
I don't
The
know what
consciousness.
actually is scary if we're talking about like actual shit like that. What do you think is scary? Having people around you die, or people fade away from your life. Because that's my fear, honestly.
Me too.
People that I care about just fading away. It's happened more times than once. I want to hold the people I have close. Because shit happens, and it's like,
Yes.
it gets scary.
It's scary to be by yourself and alone. I mean,
I'm alright with being alone. I just don't like being lonely.
I'm not alright with being alone. You leave me alone with me and my thoughts. It's me and my demons. You leave me alone with that ain't a good situation.
You need therapy then.
I ain't in therapy. That's the thing.
Or a friend.
Scary.
Yeah, they're my friends.
Monsters Incorporated.
Oh man.
Well, I think that'll probably wrap it up for this one. What you
Really?
think?
How long has it been?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Oh damn, that was a quick one.
Yeah,
Well-
quick episode.
Alright, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is it that we have for today. Hope you liked the video. If you did, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.
Wash your ass.
And your hands.